We up? Okay, I think we're up. Hello. Hi, chat. Well, so Hens made a video that was showcasing Springtrap versus Unknown. There's a lot of good creators in that, and there were some restrictions on that. Uh, so the killers weren't allowed to bring anything above common or uncommon add-ons. But something interesting we saw with this was that a lot of the Springtrap players were all bringing restaurant menu. And it really makes you wonder how good restaurant menu actually is. New best add-on dropped, everyone? Yes. Yeah. Yesterday it was Bonnie's guitar strings. The day after that it was Foxy's hook. Now it's restaurant menu. listen. Listen. Okay. It's been a weird day for DVD. We got confirmation of Walking Dead, which was basically already confirmed, but and a bunch of perk changes that are happening. I'm not really gonna go too deep into most of them. One thing I did want to do, if I can find the fucking post for it, hang on. I want to go over the killer perks that are being changed, because a lot of the survivor ones that are being changed, I actually kind of get why they're doing it. So they said, because on the forums, they said that Deja Vu.
Deposit 5 coins.
I'm Army. They said Deja Vu is being changed not as a buff or a nerf, but they're changing it to make it so that maps. So they work better with maps being a thing. So my guess on a lot of the changes is I think some perks are being changed to more align with the other item changes. And I only say that because Enemies Necessary was on that list too. And I feel like that would be the only reason to change that, right? Because if you're making, maps basically windows of opportunity, yeah, okay. So we'll look this over real quick. Hang on, let me. Okay. So keys are being updated. We're getting a new smoke bomb item, basically. Maps are being updated. They're adding more customization options, which is fucking great, and I'm glad you can name them now. Thank you. Keyboard and mouse is coming to console, which is cool. Pyramid Head's getting changed. I was talking with Yoshi about this. I think they're going to make it so Pyramid Head has the same movement speed and punishment as Springtrap with his M2. Which will be good, because that means Pyramid Heads might not only zone. They might actually try to go for shots, because it's not as punishing to miss. I don't agree with the clown changes, but I get why they're doing it. It's kind of dumb. Knights changes, sure, why not? Pig, good. Glad Pig has been getting more buffs. So yeah, okay, Enemies Necessary. If the maps are going to act like windows of opportunity, changing this makes sense. Appraisal. Because of how keys are going to work, changing this makes sense. Deja Vu. Again, because of how maps are going to work, this makes sense. Same with Detective's Hunch. To a degree, same with Still Sight. I think what they're trying to do here, and again, we don't know anything until the changes fully come through. I think what they're doing here is they're going to adjust all of these perks so people feel more inclined to bring maps and keys. I'm flabbergasted by no Springtrap buffs or even tweaks. They straight up said on the forums they're not adjusting Springtrap at all. They're going to let him sit for a little bit before they do anything. But yeah, that is my best guess on all of these. Is that they're going to make it so... They're trying to make it so that maps and keys are more something you want to bring to complement your build, rather than something you bring just because you have an entire build around it, right? The only two on here that I don't know what they're going to do with. I don't know what they're going to do with potential energy. My best guess to potential is they're going to make it so you don't lose the stacks till you're downed rather than hit. Hi, Theo. What is the other weird one? Is it not still sight? Detectives better together. I don't know about better together either. My best guess is maybe the aura reading will be the entire time you're on the gen, not just when someone gets downed. But yeah, as far as the killer perks go, I think they just meant some of these. I mean, other than Deja Vu, what on here has brought that much? Honestly. Oh, Built to Last. That was the one I wanted to guess. Here's my guess on what they're going to do to Built to Last. Here is my best guess on what they're going to do to Built to Last. Instead of you have to wait until in the locker for a certain amount of time, it's going to be while you're in the locker, you get your charges back. So you don't have to sit in the locker for a certain amount of time. It's just while you're in the locker, the charges slowly come back. That is my best guess on what they're going to do to Built to Last. Deja Vu, they're probably just going to change how the aura reading works. Any means necessary. Maybe. Does any means have a cooldown now? I keep forgetting how they changed any means. Because they changed it a little while ago, and I always forget what they did. Any means necessary DVD. Hey, look, I've looked it up before. For 4 seconds, remove the cooldown. Okay, so increase the reset. Okay, so it doesn't have a cooldown. Okay, I don't know what they're gonna do to any means then, unless it just lets you rebuild pallets. It's fucking. I'm not even gonna put that evil on us. Still sight. My best guess, they're gonna remove the chest reveal and buff the killer reveal and make it so you only have to stand still for 2 seconds. That's a change I've wanted for still sight since it came out. So we'll see. I don't know if that's what's gonna happen. That's what I want to happen. Detective's hunch. I don't really know what you could. I love this perk. I don't know what they could change about it, to be honest. And then the killer ones. What? Dragon's Grip is fine. It's not meta, but it's fine. It does its job, unless they're just gonna make it infinite, like the duration is infinite on the gen. Franklin's. Okay, people are gonna hate me. Here's what I think they're gonna do to Franklin's. They're gonna make it so rather than it making them drop the item, Franklin's is gonna make it so when you basic attack them or M1 them, the item they're holding loses charges. That's my guess. And the reason why I think that's what they're gonna do is because why would you bring a smoke bomb into the trial if Franklin's Demise could just get rid of it? Why would you bring a key into the trial if Franklin's Demise can just get rid of it? Why would you bring a map if Franklin's Demise can just get rid of it? They're not strong enough effects to, warrant bringing them in if Franklin's Demise is a thing. Hi, Hero. It's going good. It's going good. Talking about some of the changes I think are going to happen. Hubris. I don't know. What is there really to buff about Hubris or change about Hubris? I think it's fine. The one issue it has kind of is that some killers use it better than others, I guess. So now you're running them 24/7. It doesn't work with Champion of Light, so I'm not running them at all. Does anyone have any ideas on what they could possibly be doing to Hubris? Because I don't know. Maybe increasing the length the exposed lasts for? Because I think you have to be very careful with Hubris. Well, it says buffed, so every from what we can tell, every single
Oh, oh,
high gold, high noob. That scared the shit out of me, by the way. Also,
Deposit 5 coins.
Unleash Cobra. Thank you for the follow. It won't show up because we're in the desktop screen. I apologize. Um, I genuinely I don't know what they're gonna do to Hubris. They about to ruin my Franken Weave. That's just a guess. Okay, just remember, we don't know anything. I'm just taking a guess based on what we're seeing from the other items they've added. That's my guess is they're gonna make it so it loses charges when you get hit. What would they buff about Deja Vu? So they did say that Deja Vu isn't really getting buffed or nerfed. It's getting changed so that maps are more maps are the thing you bring for aura reading on like items and stuff. So my best guess is it's still gonna have the 6% somehow, but it's gonna maybe you don't get the aura reading on the gen? Maybe? I don't know. Insidious? You know, it's funny. It's funny, right? They're adding Insidious. Or they say listen, okay, so they're updating Insidious. But they're also updating Still Sight. The funny thing about these two is they basically counteract each other. So the more I think about it, what if they make Still Sight take 2 seconds to proc, but they also make Insidious take 2 seconds to proc? So they're like yin and yang perks. Okay, my best guess on Insidious, what they're going to do is they're just going to make it so if you stand still, you get the Insidious effect, and it lasts for like 5 seconds after. That is my best guess on what they're going to do to it. Because I don't know how else you could really change the perk without like completely changing its effects. Overwhelming Presence, that's another weird one. But it's funny, too, because this is another one just like Franklin's Demise. This is one that affects items. Hang on, let me check something here. Because I wanna make sure I'm understanding this. Quittable, using the Pog Vial, blah, 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 blah. The auras of players has a cooldown which recharges over time once used. Wait, hold up. The vial has a cooldown which recharges over time once used. So it doesn't have charges. It's just CD based. Consume 1 charge to completely blah 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 blah. When near a close. Charged item. Charges to refer to the individual use of item rather than the overall time they can be used for. Okay, so maybe I'm misreading this, but from the way this sounds, so the fog vials are going to be an item that has a cooldown. It's not like a med kit where you can deplete it or a toolbox. Right? It has a cooldown. The key and the map are getting a charge system per use. So let's say, in theory, the map has 4 charges. Channel the map to consume 1 charge and reveal nearby pallets and vault areas for yourself for a limited time. So rather than holding the map down for like it's like its full bar and like it's slowly dwindling down as you use it to like see auras, they're changing it now so you just press the button, use one of your charges, however many they are, and its effect activates. What if I'm telling y'all now, Franklin's Demise isn't going to make you drop an item anymore. Unless they're just adjusting it, they're updating it so it affects charges now too, along with like the whole thing. But what's weird about that though, like I said, is if the fog vial is a cooldown system rather than charges, Franklin's does nothing to this but make you drop it. I'm doing some fucking Da Vinci Code shit here. We're reading like the old versions to the new versions. Jesus Christ. Overwhelming might mess with the speed and item recharges. How long? Yeah, it might affect the speed of the recharge. That's true. Of course, overwhelming also says reworked. The other ones say updated. It might make them lose the charge and not drop it. The problem with that would be consistency. So let's say you're running Franklin's Demise and the whole team has, let's say it made you drop toolboxes and medkits, but not keys and maps. Well, then Franklin's Demise is really good versus one thing and almost useless against another. It would just be inconsistent. It's like, okay, why does it do this on these items and not these, you know? I mean, we already have some of that in the game with, like, what counts as taking a health state. And then updating Hangman's Trick. They could literally do anything to Hangman's Trick and make it good. Now, the funny thing here is that they still call it Scourge Hook Hangman's Trick. So they're not making it not a Scourge Hook anymore. Also, I just realized the charge system is probably also why Streetwise isn't gonna get affected. Wait. So is Streetwise gonna affect the cooldown? The fog vial specializes in creating confusion and breaking line of sight. When it's activated, the fog obscures your surroundings while still allowing for limited visibility within your immediate vicinity. By moving to a single recharging use, survivors can use fog vials multiple times per trial and don't have to be quite so precious about saving charges, letting them be more in the moment with their vial uses. Huh.
Fix your fucking game, devs.
They are fixing it. We're literally looking over them fixing it right now. Keys stood out as the least used survivor item in Word. I wonder why. It's almost like you nuked their main purpose and then didn't give them anything. Anyways, survivor items were typically outclassed by other options. We reworked them to offer a wider range of utility and tap into players' yearning for higher rarity items. Now, the charge system is easier to track. Think of it as uses rather than use time. And the aura reading capabilities of the key are improved, while also adding some team-wide utility. In addition to making it easier for the equipped player to get quality items from chests, keys also extend that opportunity to a single teammate. Similar to keys, maps stood out as underutilized, which didn't fit into beginner or experienced players' kits. With this change, maps retain the spirit of giving players an awareness of the surroundings, making their effects more consistent and extending some value to teammates. Now there's no need to track objects before they show up. Didn't even make Celebrate poster 140%. Okay, and yeah, okay. Again, though, look at that. Look at all the perks that are changing, though. Any means necessary. This gives you aura on pallets. So that means maps are. There is one perk in here I don't see that probably is going to get changed at some point. Which is saying enemies necessary gives you aura on pallets. That's not really necessary because of maps. Appraisal lets you rummage through a chest. Keys are letting you do that now too. Better together. That gives you aura while you're on a gen. So they're probably changing that to be a little bit better. Built to last. It affects charges now, so they're probably updating it to affect that. Deja vu. Same thing. It gives you aura on gens, so they're probably adjusting it so it works better with maps. Detective's Hunch, same thing. Potential Energy, that one's weird. I don't know about that one. Still Sight, same thing. It gives you auras on chest. And Streetwise is being reworked. Streetwise is being reworked, and Overwhelming Presence is being reworked. Both, okay, so those are the only two reworked ones in here. I am like Da Vinci coding this shit. Okay, so if Streetwise is being reworked and Overwhelming Presence is being reworked, two perks that basically do the same thing but in reverse, they're just going to make they're just going to make them so they affect charges now. As well as cooldown. I can almost promise. And then even on the killer side, it's a little different. The only perk in here that's weird is Franklin's Demise. Because, again, if it... Well, no, they said rework. And Franklin's Demise is being... I don't know. I feel like I'm shooting in the dark here. I really don't know. I mean, I am shooting in the dark, but still. Honestly, of all the killer ones, I'm the most curious about this one. About Hangman's Trick and Insidious. Well, because it's connected. Again, if all of these perks adjust or affect everything that the maps, the keys, and the new fog vial are doing, then of course they're all going to be changed. They have to be. There is one perk missing from this list, Behavior. Yeah, right here. In addition, we've adjusted perks that affect items to make sure they're compatible with the updated Survivor item changes. That would be Streetwise, Deja Vu, Built to Last, Enemies Necessary, and Appraisal. So that just leaves Potential Energy, Still Sight, Detective's Hunch, which are all... Potential Energy, I'm still just... They're probably just going to make it so you don't lose your charges till you go down rather than get hit. I don't know what they're doing to Detectives. Pharmacy isn't in here, no. Windows of Opportunity. Windows of Opportunity is in here. And I find that odd, because if you want survivors to run maps to know where to go, you have to do something about... And this isn't me advocating for Windows, like, oh no, Windows is overpowered. That's not me advocating for that at all or saying that. What I'm saying is, if they're going to adjust Enemies Necessary because maps are basically doing that job, where's Windows of Opportunity? They buff Desperate Measures, Built to Last, but not Visionary. We don't talk about Visionary. Isn't it whenever you look in the direction of a gen, it like shows you its aura within a certain range or something? Visionary is such a dumb perk. As for the rest of the changes, Pyramid Heads, all of these are good. Hang on, let me. We've heard your feedback that Executioner's add-ons could use more variety. Behavior. Let me check something. I'm gonna check something real quick. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. If I go to my playlists and I go to my Killer Main podcast series, let's see. My first Killer Main podcast was on January 10th of 2024. That was sometime last year. In almost every single Killer Main podcast I've ever done, Pyramid Head's add-ons are brought up because they're fucking terrible. However, and most of the community has been saying his stuff has been bad since his release. Sure. Okay, whatever. Rain shouldn't feel like the only viable option. Oh, really? In addition to making Rage increase his base kit, we reworked his add-ons to introduce more interesting options, like adjusting the spread of Punishment of the Damned, or triggering effects on misses. Adjusting the spread of Punishment of the Damned, or triggering effects on misses. So what? Like you miss your M2 and like you get haste? Or like aura reading on a miss? Also, I'm just saying, if tomorrow, no, dude, you make a joke. You make a joke, but if tomorrow one of the new add-ons for Pyramid Head, or one of the adjusted add-ons, has anything to do with affecting the shape of Punishment of the Damned, making it like a cone, or making it like shoot in front of him and behind him or something, I know the devs watch my videos now. I have been asking for this for like 3 years. I have video documented proof. 32-meter range on Gen Auras and goes on a 16-second cooldown. Why? Outside of these changes, keep an eye out for the patch notes for add-on details. We made some quality of life adjustments and slightly reduced the zoning potential. Okay, here's my question. Here's my question. Here's my thought process. Again, I was talking to Yoshi about this. So people are complaining about Springtraps zoning right now. Turns out that Pyramid Head zoning is actually much, much worse than Springtraps, like mathematically. So we have a feeling what they're going to do here, and it's funny that they mention this triggering effects on miss. I think they're just gonna make him like Springtrap, pretty much. He's gonna get like his own Foxy Hook add-on. His zoning's gonna be the same as Springtraps. Like, that's funny. The big thing here, though, is added haste and endurance effect to survivors safe from a cage, by the way. The Executioner. There you go. Clown, my boy. Increased movement speed while reloading. Good. Decreased bottle reload time. Also good. Adjusted effects of yellow bottles. Increase the haste. Increase the distance and speed the smoke spreads. Increase the activation speed. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but I get why they're doing it. Decrease the hindered. Decrease how long the hinder effect lingers after leaving the smoke. Added input buffering to charging a bottle throw, reloading, adjusting several add-ons. Okay, I'm going to read this here in a second. So, they're basically just trying to encourage people. They're trying to encourage people to use both the bottles. Because even to this day, I still see so many clowns only use the purple bottles. So, they're just trying to encourage people to use the yellow bottles. I don't think it's going to be a nerf or a buff. I think it's literally just going to be moving the pendulum so his yellow bottles have to be used. That's it. Isn't that the Springtrap skin? When it comes to clown players, his purple bottles see much more use than his yellow across skill levels. To better incentivize their use, we're giving the yellow bottles a quicker activation, greater speed boost, and wider effective range. That last one actually probably is going to hurt him more than anything, but sure. Coupled with some base speed changes to compensate, purple bottles have received a slight nerf, requiring a little more throw control to get their full value. Behavior! Buff Visionary! And my life is yours! I pulled that TC Carson really good, I think. My only question to this entire update, my only question to this entire clown update, as long as Cigar Box stays the same, we're good, Behavior. I don't care. I don't care what you do to Clown as long as Cigar Box remains the same. The Knights increase maximum path patrol length, increase path drawing speed, acceleration, and stray speed. Carnifex standard spawns slower. Assassins and jailers spawn quicker. Added input buffering. Adjusted call to arms add-on. Drawing a blah 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 blah. Okay. I mean, I don't think any of this is needed, but sure. Pig. Increase crouch movement speed. Thank God. Increase speed of crouching and uncrouching. Also, thank God. Increase the speed at which terror radius fades when crouching. I think, honestly... Okay, so here's the thing with this one. I think this is just an oversight from when they adjusted her terror radius. Because when I went down to 24, I think it's still... They forgot to code it so it takes the same speed, pretty much, from when it was 32. Increased ambush movement speed. Cool, cool, cool. Added the input buffering to crouching, charging, and attack. Adjusted several add-ons.
Buff the pig.
They did buff the pig. That's what they're doing. Finally. Actually, this is the second time they buffed the pig. Oh, I forgot there's, like, stuff in this. While the changes of the key, blah blah blah. I think my greatest issue is legit the fact that charges talk is being changed. I don't want to feel like I had to save stacks to use my item at specific points. I like being able to use it until it runs out with the bar in the toolbox. And kind of makes it the same as toolbox and medkits, as those are charge based, not time based. Oh, that's what. Oh. I get it now. Okay. Huh. So they're just changing how the math works. Okay. Well, that was an interesting forum read. I can't wait to actually know what it's talking about tomorrow and look like I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. That's gonna be so great. Man. What do I have to do today, chat? Activate any invitation ability while not in chase. Activate an invitation ability while in chase. Activate the endurance. Okay. That's easy. Cool. Alright. I'm doing that 4th challenge right now. Well, I wish you luck. Okay, so we're testing restaurant menu. I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm bringing party hat. The notes were a lie. Wraith is being sacrificed as PTB. Goodbye. I wonder... Yeah, of my options, I think Party Hat's probably the best one to bring. Fuck it. I'll bring Genetic Limits. F it. We ride. We ride, chat. We ride. Chat, one day I'll make Party Hat good. One day. One day it'll happen. I'll be sitting there in a cold sweat at night. And I'll just like spring up from my bed and just, I got it. It's not gonna happen. Oh, also, to those on the YouTube side of things, if you are commenting about a particular FNAF animation, that's cool. I don't care if like you're referencing it. That's fine. But can we not finish the lyrics for obvious reasons? Thank you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you are more innocent than I. I've really been enjoying Party Hat with CPU. I don't know. A lot of people have been enjoying CPU. Noob. I swear to God. That wasn't a joke, by the way. That was like a legitimate threat. Just saying. Damn. I've actually been completing my Survivor challenges. Wow. I don't even play that much Survivor. You know, I could have been reading those while we were in queue, I suppose. But you know what? Wrong button. Oh boy, gens are gonna fly with this. I'm just curious if restaurant menu helps me get more access. I'm genuinely curious about that. Or if it like gives me the confidence to use like Party Hat for the Killer Instinct more. No, noob. No one deserves to feel a fraction of your pain. I don't know. I'm excited for tomorrow. Also, we're gonna be Walking Dead was basically confirmed today. I don't even want to say basically; it was confirmed today. So I'm curious what perks they're bringing because it's 2 survivors, so we're getting 6 new perks tomorrow. What about a teeth? No, no pain. Also, don't forget, chat. The last podcast or the last weekly podcast will be on Wednesday. It's 8 hours going over every single patch in Dead by Daylight history, pretty much. Nah, bro, it's Jurassic Park. You know, you're right. You're correct. They fooled us all. Every single one of us. I didn't spawn next to a door. This was like the worst first chase I could have taken. I can't drop. Yeah, shit, I'm just terrible at Dead by Daylight. Holy shit. Oh, did she just leave the loop? I am playing so bad right now. 2 bazillion hours for this gameplay, yes. Nope, just left the loop. Can I, Yeah!
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on, not for you. You're dead. That's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. And he said to me, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story. You try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once. It wasn't pretty. We talked about it.
Hippo confirmed next killer,
Not
yes.
only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe, thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume, you know? Sometimes, I said, a story is just a story. So just be quiet for 1 second of your life and eat your sandwich, okay? Of course, it was only then I realized I made sandwiches. Poor Orville was such difficulty eating it. I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking.
Thank you for the raid, by the way.
Feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does.
What?
Now, this was on a
DK64, thank you for the raid, by the way. I'll give you a shout out here in a minute.
It was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough.
Mr. Hippo's talking. I can't talk. Sorry.
Wednesday. Or rather, they sold it at a discount for people wanting to feed the ducks, and then probably at the end of the day, finally, they threw it all out. I don't recall. I do remember a man who would bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday and go feed the ducks. He would buy all of the sourdough bread. Of course, you're not supposed to feed the ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach, and then they all die. At least that's what I've heard. I never saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the duck population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, and I told Orville this as well, if you want to feed ducks, or birds, or any kind for that matter, it's best to buy seed. I mean, when you think about it, breads of any sort don't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from the bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I bought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was.
It was a fine day. Welcome in, Reddit. My name's Pick Burnett. I'm typically a chunky streamer, but we've been playing the crap out of Springtraps since release. Thanks, Party Hat. Wow, Party Hat actually got me some value there. We're trying out restaurant menu because I thought it would be fun. Hippo is talking at the moment. Yes, Mr. Hippo. The only thing that matters in this world. But DK64 fan, and I'm going to try to pronounce that correctly. Whaticans? Thank you for the follows. Are you shitting me? Trust me. Works every time. Okay, it doesn't work every time, but it works sometimes. Party hat is better than Freddy's hat? Yeah, it's the best hat add-on. Now, you might be asking yourself, Banette, why are you running Rapid Brutality? Don't worry about it. You might also be asking yourself, Banette, why are you running Save the Best for Last? Also, don't worry about it. I'm going to leave her be. I'm going to head back over here to where Becky was. At least where I think Becky was. Becky wasn't on that one, so she's probably... There she is. God, she is fucking patient. Well, it's fine. All I gotta do is zone her a bit. Come on, Sable. Come for the save. You know you want to. No, she's out. I still cannot believe I landed that shot over this. God, I love this killer so much. Resilience, windows of opportunity will make it life. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, you didn't get to use your life? The hatch? The hatch. What do you think about the new Survivor items, by the way? I talked about them a little bit before we got into the matches, but I don't know, they seem cool. I like that one of them has a CD. That's an interesting premise for an add-on. So I'd be very interested to see what they end up doing with that. Also, DK, there's your shout out. By the way, what were you up to, DK? I apologize. I was kind of into it, and Mr. Hippo was talking. There's a lot of things with it. Yeah, Timmy, they're adding a cooldown to the smoke bomb add-on. It's going to have a cooldown rather than charges. CD's nuts. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. It makes me wonder what they're going to change about Franklin's demise because of that. Killer Streak sent me this way. Well, I appreciate Killer for that. I had Killer Streak on to talk about Trapper that one time. I remember that. Okay, we're just going to do a stupid brain-off build, chat. I think I'm actually going to take off Lethal and put on BBQ, maybe. Pumpkins becomes worse at exaltation. That would be an interesting concept, but like I don't know how they do it. Would it just make it a brown if you like hit M1 them? That's it. Party Hat actually got me value that match like 3 times too. So it's kind of insane to think about. Springtrap is one of those killers. I just really wish you could have 3 add-ons. If you could get 1 more add-on slot, Party Hat would like instantly be better. What do I think of Walking Dead? I'm not the biggest fan, but I don't hate it. Imagine a hippo killer? I wonder. I wonder. For a toucan play reword? You mean toucan play? A toucan. It's a toucan, everybody. I don't hate Walking Dead. I like the video game. I played the Walking Dead Telltale game when I was in the Army. It's actually one of the first games I played when I was in the military. I remember this very distinctly. And then I played Tales from the Borderlands. Got very mad when the when like episode 4, no, was it episode 4? I think it was either 3 or 4. Took like almost a year to come out. That shit upset me so much. Gotta do the walking only challenge when Walking Dead comes out. Yeah, there you go. The walking only challenge. What are the perks? Fixated, still sight, and I don't know, what's a walking perk other than fixated? Light-footed, there you go.
I won my challenge to race my friend to P25 first on Springtrap. Any words of wisdom?
Don't put your self-worth into beating your friend to the challenge. Just know it was supposed to be friendly competition. Is it good enough words of wisdom for you, spoiler? What if 2 can play blinded on basic? That would be fucking stupid. That would be so stupid. No, don't make it do that. I think 2 can play is fine where it is. It's a funny perk that has like a couple of niche builds. Tales from the Borderlands is an amazing game. It's also really funny. I say this all the time, and maybe I'm not the only one who's noticed this. We don't really get funny games anymore. We get games with, like, comedy moments, but, like, we don't get games like Portal 2 or, like, Tales from the Borderlands, right? Games that, like, their entire premise is kind of just to make you laugh the whole time. Survivors should just bring Lightborn then. There you go, yeah. Yeah, Survivors bring Lightborn. Oh. Stanley Parable remastered, but that's a yeah, Stanley Parable was also very fucking funny. But that was also a meta game. That was like a game about gaming, you know? We just don't really get like funny games anymore. Like I thought about this a lot the other day. I think what got me thinking about it was the idea of, like, there's no way to make a PvP game that isn't competitive by nature. Even something like Mario Kart or, like, Mario Party, they're still competitive by nature. Just because someone has to win. It's not remastered, it's the Ultra Deluxe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A Way Out? Was that a funny game? Was it, like, designed to be a comedy? Are most Mario games funny? They're funny by, like, proxy. They're not inherently funny. That's how I would word it. Could you fucking imagine, chat? Someone had a flashlight. I don't know where they are. I think someone's going back for the save. Hello. Was that Sprint Burst or... Oh, she faked that. That was good. We're going to keep the axe where we have it. She played that really well. Let's see, where are y'all? Survivors. Hello. You think he was expecting to have life there? Hi, Alucard. It doesn't matter. I mean, unless you go for a save. Oh, no deliverance on the Ash. Deliverance completely saving a game? Oh, someone gave up and died. Nice dodge. He heals? Why does this always happen to me on Nostromo? Oh, the event healed. Oh. This always happens to me on Nostromo, and I don't know why. Hi, Ash.
Please deposit 5 coins.
Are they healing over there or no? Please deposit 5 coins. No, no! I want to deposit 5 coins. Okay. She's dead. Is it important?
The bite of 87?
It was almost the grab of 87. Also, she didn't prep the door. GG's. That was a match won by Deliverance, by the way, which is fucking insane. Did Ash have life? No, he had Sprint Burst. Alucard a Dead Hard, though. Why do people call Good Shot hated when he's quieter than the other skins? When he's walking? That Deliverance saved the entire game. That's fucking insane. And people say it's not a good perk. I'm probably gonna take Stabiffle off. What's a no-brain perk, chat? Clown Trap should have squeaky shoes. Of course he should. Also, let me catch up with chat. Why does the glitch trap Mew when he grabs a survivor? It's Sigma. Bamboozle? Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I feel like I don't vault enough for Bamboozle, though. Honestly, chat, for real though, menu feels really good to use. We'll vault more? I have a ranged projectile. I don't want to vault. Unrelenting? Oh yeah, that's one. I'm chronically addicted to Foxy's Hook, so are many people. I don't know, is there anything else that's like kind of brain-offy? Just Gordon's? Well, no, because then I gotta think about which gen I'm going to. Lightborn, that's true. Actually, you know what? I got it. Hang on. I'll just bring Forever Entwined. Is that Arella? Yeah, it's Arella. Paris. And what other challenges do I have to do? Play 4 more matches. While in chase, activate an ability. Okay. While in chase, activate the endurability. Okay. Alright, behavior. Don't fucking... Fine. Forever is great on any killer. I love Forever Entwined. And I'm glad that people are realizing how good it is. Nothing wrong. I love this perk. I don't care. It works on every killer and it helps you at all points of the match. Chucky has not been fixed at all. Chucky was not mentioned in any bug fixes or anything. Unless he's fixed on PTB, he is still currently bugged. I can challenge that. I don't enjoy Forever on Unknown. Well, that's a you problem. It's a you problem. Forever Entwined is like my favorite comfort perk.
You have met a terrible demise. But, you know, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, you know?
Yep.
I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on. Not for you. You're dead. But that's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. And he said to me, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know?
He may have to mention.
Sometimes a story is just a story. If you try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once. Wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. And not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe and thinking something you shouldn't think or assuming something you shouldn't assume.
Right.
You know? Sometimes, I said, a story is just a story. So just be quiet for 1 second of your life.
I could add the others.
Of course, it was only then I realized I'd made sandwiches and
I just have to make them separate
Orville
redeems.
was having such difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands, you know? Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat a sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread.
Make them all
Now,
play at
I'm
once.
unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does. Now, this was on a Tuesday, which was good because rye bread was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday, or rather, they sold it at a discount for people wanting to feed the ducks, and then probably at the end of the day, finally, they threw it all out. I don't recall. I do remember a man who would bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday and then go feed the ducks. He would buy all of the sourdough bread. Of course, you know, you're not supposed to feed the ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach and then they all die.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I've heard. You know, I never saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the duck population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, and I told Orville this as well, if you want to feed ducks, or birds, or any kind for that matter, it's best to buy seed. I mean, when you think about it, breads of any sort don't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from the bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I bought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was.
It was a very fine day, Mr. Hippo. And that is why, by the way, Killer feels fucking ass right now. Oh, yo, it's Gengar. Whoa, 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 whoa! It's my mortal enemy, Chad. It's Gengar. If you want to feed ducks, you have to be a duck. Yes, that's exactly what he meant to say. 150%. They're on 4. We'll go to 7. I'll go to 4, and then we'll wrap around to him. By the way, this is how you need to use the doors. Just because they get a lot of tells that you're coming. They're over there. 8 is still... Oh, really? Oh, did she just run? I think she just ran.
Please deposit 5 coins.
Restaurant menu got me that hit, by the way.
Please deposit 5 coins.
One day I will, chat. One day. I'm actually going to go straight to 2. I do want them off of this gen.
Please deposit 5 coins.
One day, chat. The day is not today.
Please deposit 5 coins.
There, I deposited a kill. That's close. Like 5 coins.
Payment's taken too long. Please deposit 6 coins or we might have to take action.
Might have to take action. You got nothing on me, chat. Sure? Do you have Decisive Strike, Ada? Why did you do that? Why did you body block for the Vil if you don't have Decisive Strike? What was the purpose? Okay. Bill, I think you're gonna die to deep wound here in a second. Okay. I don't know what the point of any of this was. Okay. Hey, Annie. Hey, Amber, she's been good. I've had fun. There's a squid in Banette's room? Yeah, there's a squid. Her name is Yum Yum. Sometimes she acts like a squid. Squid Game and DVD would make me smile, especially... I don't know if Squid Game could work. Is it because she had made for this? Is that why she did that? Why did the bill do it? Please deposit 5 coins or... Fine. Okay, fine. You know what, chat? Fine. There. I did it. Tickets, please. I'll get the Sable Mask, because why not? Isn't Squid Game that thing Nintendo made? With that... Yes, that's Squid Game. That's 100% Squid Game. That's what it is. Honestly, I'm telling you guys, genetic limits is actually kind of goated on fucking Springtrap. No, you clicked on highlight my message. At least according to my statistics, you did. While in chase, activate the endure. Oh god, I keep forgetting to do the endure thing. Isn't Squid Game just red versus blue, but they made the blue more pink? No, that is not what Squid Game is. Nice try. Thank you for the hydrate spoiler. Okay, there is a video on my feed called What If Deathslinger Had a Real Gun? I'm just saving it to watch later. I don't know who this creator is. They are a Deathslinger player, so I'm definitely watching that later. uh... It's just red versus blue, but with shapes instead of colors. Okay, fair enough. Fine. Sure. Isn't Squid Game that game? I'm not squidding. I think it's... Guys, I don't think Splatoon is Squid Game. I don't think Splatoon is Squid Game. I understand the confusion, but I don't think that's what it is. Isn't Fall Guys Squid Game without money? That's probably the closest comparison, actually. Uncle Ben, what happened? Squid Game. You know, for a game called Squid, or for a show called Squid Game, you never once see a squid in the entire show. Sure. There's squids in Splatoon. You know, no, there's kids, and then there's squids, and then they're kids, and then there's squids. It's like the whole premise of the game. Human game. That sounds catchy, I feel, a Squid Game. Otter Game was brilliant. Fucking Otter Game. No, I'm saying I want to see squids. There you go. Did you see Giraffe Game? Oh. That's what Korean squids look like, just like us. I don't know if it's offensive or not. That's the Canadian remake. Fucking can't, That's Moose Game. Oh my fucking... It's like in that scene in Zootopia where they changed the newscaster animal depending on the country it was broadcast in. Goose Game, no, yeah, that one's taken. Well, that one's technically untitled, so you know it might not be taken. Isn't SpongeBob's friend a squid? Sandy the Squidderl? Get out. Chat, I don't have very many brain cells left. Okay? And I'm not wasting them now. Seagull Game. David King used to be called Smoke. That's a sick placeholder name. What, Untitled Goose Game? Wait, I'm confused. Spoiler, what did you mean by David King used to be called Smoke? Okay, they're going to 6, so I'm going to 4. Oh, sweetheart, I don't think you make anything. He's heading over here. Someone was ready for that save. I'm gonna check main.
Please deposit 5 coins.
I got a Leon to deposit. Does that work? There, I deposited Leon. Now what? Just trust. Huh? What? Where did... What? I don't even know where she went. Her scratch marks just... Wait a second. No? Weird. Ugh. There's a squid in the chat. Don't worry about it. Just ignore him. He'll go away. Did she wrap all the way back? Or she did! Yo, this fucking Yui. Nice dodge. Dude, this Yui has no fear. No fear, dude. Very good, dude. Thought it'd go over. I just gotta stop chasing her. Shiny, thank you for the raid! Thank you for the raid, Shiny. Welcome to Raid. It's Fake Net. I'm a Dead by Daylight streamer. How did that not deep wound her? At the very least. Yeah, they're already back on the door, too. G fucking G's, dude. Could you imagine they just lose this? That was dumb. That was dumb. That was a good... Dude, she runs into me every time. That was some good shit on the Yui's part. And it didn't refund the cooldown? Wait, what? What? What didn't refund the cooldown? One's there. Leon's near... no, they're both right there. She's the one going for the save, though. Nice. If she isn't breakable... She had unbreakable, yep. That wins them the match. 2 matches I've lost, by the way, because of 1 perk. I'll take the 2K. I don't know if they have time to come back for the save, though. Throw the game? No, they didn't throw the game at all. They won that. They did exactly what they needed to. A 2K? I'll take an even trade for that. I chased the Yui for way too long. This dog. Why do you have that emote? Also, Shiny, I'm so sorry that I didn't really say much. Welcome to Rage. My name's Big Banette. I'm usually a Chucky streamer. Today we're streaming Springtrap. I'm trying out restaurant menu. What in the Mars attacks? Don't worry about it.
Please deposit 5 coins.
What did she have? Unbreakable. Yeah, no exhaustion perks. Huh? Favorite pal from Pal World? That's a tough... Probably the chicken one. I don't know the pals from Pal World, like, offhand. I didn't play it enough. Shiny, let me give you a shout-out. If you guys don't know who Shiny is, by the way, lovely, lovely Deathslinger main. Speaking of Shiny, there was a video that popped in my feed for what if Deathslinger had a real gun. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks hilarious. Mimgons? I don't even know what Mimgons are. I'm looking up Mimgons. Hang on. Mimogs. I love him. I love him. I love him. Just a mimic with a tongue. I love him. It doesn't take much. He is my child. I love him. I love him so much. Why are so many heroes in chat? Don't worry about it. Power World is not Pokemon. No, they want a legal debate. It's not Pokemon. It has nothing to do with Pokemon. The real reason Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are igniting themselves is Sony. I see. But Shiny, what were we up to, Shiny? Just Deathslinger gaming? Sony tried to acquire the Power World studio. Of course they did. Power World is more like GTA, to be honest. I don't know. Power World's more like... Honestly, the closest game to Power World is Rust. Is that a bad take? Oh, I gotta use my enduring ability in Chase. I keep forgetting. Wait, you actually have to get stunned for this? Oh, that sucks. I think I might just skip this one. Power is more like Arc. That's what I meant, Arc, not Rust. Thank you. I think the quest is bugged. I mean, it might, maybe. I haven't really used the enduring effect. I never use it. Dark Arrogance with Orange Glyph with Cloaked Wraith. You'll get stunned more, trust. How am I going to get the Orange Glyph to spawn? Also, chat, I don't think I've streamed since the Axe video came out. I like that. I liked making that video. I made that video in like 4 hours. I'm very proud of that. Magic? Yeah, you're right. I'm very proud of that video. Axe video was cool. I like that video. Like I said, I put a lot of work into that one. I know I just said it only took me 4 hours to make, but I mean, I had to script it up. That took a little bit longer.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise.
Have I?
But, you know, I don't feel too bad about it.
You should.
After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else.
Like
know?
who? Like who, Mr.
I guess
Hippo?
what I'm trying to say is life goes on.
Yep, I know it does.
Well, for everyone else, life goes on. Not for you. You're dead.
That's very rude.
That's neither here nor there.
Yes, it is. It's right
It
now.
reminds me of one summer day in the park.
What does it have to do with anything?
Delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said,
Who is
to him,
Orville?
I said, Orville, I have a story. He said to me, what's the significance of the story? And
What's the significance of the speech?
I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know? Sometimes, sometimes a story is just a story. You try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. Had a friend do it once. Wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. And not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe and thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume.
Orville!
Sometimes, I said, a story is just a story. So just be quiet for 1 second of your life and eat your sandwich, okay?
Okay.
Of course, it was...
I don't have a
then
sandwich, but I'd love
realized
one.
I made sandwiches, and poor Orville was having such difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands, you know? Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat a sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does. Now, this was on a Tuesday, which was good because rye bread was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday, or rather, they sold it at a discount for people wanting to feed the ducks, and then probably at the end of the day, finally, they threw it all out. I don't recall. I do remember a man who would bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday and go feed the ducks. He would buy all of the sourdough bread. Of course, you know, you're not supposed to feed the ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach and they all die. At least that's what I've heard. You know, I never saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the duck population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, and I told Orville this as well, if you want to feed ducks, or birds, or any kind for that matter, it's best to buy seed. I mean, when you think about it, breads of any sort don't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from the bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I bought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was.
Yeah, so it's a very fine day, Orville.
Hello.
Hello. Who's that? Hey, Last Touch Hero. Thank you for the follow, by the way. What do you mean they healed already? That was good. They healed twice during that chase, by the way. That's fucking insane. Hi, Ace. I'm gonna.
The bite of 87?
It was the heal of 87. What the fuck are you guys doing? Do you have decisive by chance? Yeah, that's why you wanted it. Okay. Well, that's fine by me. Oh, he went up. No, he didn't go up. No! So close. I gotta break that fucking pallet. Also, that's a Nia, not a Fong. I thought it was a Fong. Damn it. Nice. Yeah, you're trying real hard for that flashlight save, huh? They're tunneling, but net strikes again. You know, as she kept walking back into me to try to get those. They're already healed back up. Holy shit. Our decisive strike is down, by the way. Fucking door or ceiling. Hey, so why didn't you want to go into the thing? Hey, if you're gonna keep being good at dodging it, I'm not gonna throw it. They're on the other one? Okay. Works for me. Sure. How did I turn that around? What the fuck? Doors stuck. Survivors, we don't want to be tunneled. Also survivors. Hang on. There's another window here. What the fuck? God, dude, fuck this building. Holy shit. Hey, you're so good at dodging it. There you go. Well, there we go. Oh, he's not on the second stage yet. Hang on, Jake. We gotta wait. There we go. 48 axe wounds. If everyone was already dead when the game started. That's the real change killers need. Dead hard, lithe, background. I don't think I saw any of these go off. Metal of Man on Ash. No healing. Oh, just made for this. That was the only healing perk they had. And just a bunch of med kits. Jesus Christ, healing speeds are insane. You think you can squeeze in Mindbreaker? I mean, I probably could. I don't think it's going to matter, though, is it? Oh, it might have been. I mean, none of them had Sprint Burst. I don't like Mindbreaker personally because then Sprint Burst gets used in the middle of a chase and then I get mad about it. I'd rather it just get used at the start and have it be done. Because Mindbreaker's what, 3 seconds, right? It's 5 seconds. So with Vigil, it's 2 seconds. Well, no. It'd be 3.2 seconds. I don't even know what song that is, noob. I could try Mindbreaker. I just like Forever Entwined. It just feels good. That's the thing. I just prefer genetic. I don't gotta deal with Dead Hard. I don't gotta deal with Lithe most of the time. Balanced Landing, any of these perks. A lot of people take a hit before they'd use them. The only thing I have to deal with is Sprint Burst, and I don't even really think Mindbreaker actually counters that, just because, again, they can just pre-run the gen a lot of the time. Or pre-walk the gen, I should say. And then 10 while in chase? Why is it 10 while in chase? Use Septic, OP. Yeah, let me use Septic on a killer with a 24-meter terror radius. It's undetectable for half the match. Yes. Hear me out. No. You're joking? Hear me out for no quarter. What if no quarter worked on syringes? Could you imagine if in, like, the middle of a chase, like, you pop a syringe, and then when you get to the 75% mark, you just start, like, getting random skill checks while you're being chased? This perk would be, like, the best perk in the game. What if no quarter worked? That'd be fun. What if it worked on anything? Like, what if it just worked on all heals, not just self-heals? That would be great. Oh, Mindbreaker and Lingwind. Oh. I just like the brain out build because I don't have to think. That's why I like this build. I know where to go at the start of the match. I know where to go after a hook. I don't really... This just progressively gets better as the match goes on, and the genetic limits stops exhaustion perks in general. Maybe we could try Mindbreaker. See what she does. Oh no, for sure. The problem is that Springtrap also does hits with his axe. I don't classify it as a no-brain perk because I always forget I have it. What if we found a quarter? Then you would have 25 cents of a dollar. That's simple math. Hot diggity dog, chat. I don't see how this gets us closer to fixing the no quarter. The fixing no quarter. I got, to be honest. I get a job. You'll get a quarter then. What about making it no half? You know, chat. I love you guys. I do. But sometimes, that's all I'm going to say. Just sometimes. What about making it? Well, yeah, when we nerf no quarter, it's just no. That's the solution we've been looking for this whole time. Survivors can't heal without your consent. You have to walk back to them, M1 them again. It doesn't do damage. It just lets them heal. You see Glitchtrap's smile? That's chat. It all makes sense. You're all non-blinking, smiling rabbits. I knew it. 1 quarter. We'll just finally buff no quarter and just call it $1, okay? There. It's been buffed 4 times, it's now $1. It's fine. Wait, his eyes are purple? Is he Michael Afton? Is that the purple guy? Purple guy? Yesn't. That's my answer to that question. What if no quarter just made it so healing was straight up slower? I mean, leverage, gift of pain. Those two pretty much do that. It all makes sense now. Yeah, noob, keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself the FNAF lore makes sense. Has it been long enough? Can I get spoilers for Secret of the Mimic? Can I do that now? Has it been long enough? It's been like a month, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's been almost a month. Has it been 22.3 years? Is that the internet's like spoiler year thing? 22.3 years. What is the Secret of the Mimic? It's a video game produced by Steelwool Studios that follows the. It is a sequel to the popular, or I'm sorry, a prequel to the popular game franchise known as Five Nights at Freddy's, created by Scott Cawthon, who used to work at Dollar General. Is that? I meant the actual secret. Again, I don't know if I can give spoilers yet. I don't know if it's been long enough. Look up. Go watch Ride Toast. He'll tell you. That's not completely inaccurate. Oh, damn, she dodged wide as hell. I was not expecting her to dodge that wide, to be honest. See, this is my problem with Mindbreaker. What's happening right the fuck now? That was a good dodge. Put God in the way. What? No. I had one on hook, I was chasing the other, and a gen still got done, by the way. Lightborn value, even though I don't have it. Nice. What the fuck? What am I stuck on? You have decisive? No? Do you guys think I'm blind? I'm not picking you up because I'm pretty sure you have power struggle. Like 99% sure you have power struggle. Motherfuckers, I can see you! Alright, where's Jane? I don't see Jane anywhere. She healed! Jane was healing. Okay. She's either nearish by or in a door. the hell was I? Okay. Messed up my audio. Hi, Jane. Could you fucking imagine? It only takes one. Would ultimate weapon get a counter for the camera reveals? Why? Because it would blind them if they go near. I mean, not really. The best counter to camera reveals is either A, throwing your axe at the door, or B, just running access panel and throwing the axe right at the person. That's like the best use of access panel. Well, one of the better uses of access panel. You just throw the the axe through the door and hit them while they're looking at you through a camera. Hey, Bog. Honestly, you'd be better off like running third seal or something. All right, let's see, Chad. Did she have power struggle? That's the question. She didn't have power struggle. Let's go. So they can't get value from the reveal. That's true, but like I don't think it's worth running it for that reason alone. Are the games that they've been good? We've had some really tough survivors, but like overall we've been doing pretty good. I think the worst we've done today is a 2K. It was on Ormond against a very good Yui. But we've been mostly just testing out a restaurant menu, and honestly, it's been pretty good. Same with Party Hat. I'm actually very surprised at how good Party Hat has been. Bird. I want bird. I'm going to spend some points on Zorina real quick. How many cakes? 15, let's go! What do I need to spend points on? I need Houndmaster, Nemesis, Dredge. Are we doing okay on Nemi? I haven't checked him in a bit. No, we are not doing okay on Nemi. Menu stream? No. Party Hat stream? Hell yeah. I mean, honestly, you could run Party Hat with, is it Rotten Pizza? Yeah, you could do it with Rotten Pizza and probably get some decent value for mind gains with it. Also, someone did point out to me that in the Hens video, they were restricted to not using anything of a higher rarity than the greens. So that's probably why they were running restaurant menu. Freddy's Hat. We did a Freddy's Hat stream. This has been done. We already did it. Maybe again one day. Another one. Yeah, I probably will do another one. Because again, I don't hate Freddy's hat. I just hate that it kills all of my muscle memory. It's honestly my biggest issue with it. You were looking at skins and you think they're too pricey. Some of them are, but compared to like most games, they're pretty good. Keep it up. Well, unfortunately, food the podcasts are actually going away. Well, kind of. They're not going to be uploaded weekly anymore after this week. The last one is this week. But after this week, it's only going to be the Killer Main ones, and that's only for basically for new killers. That was a choice I made for personal reasons and for a lot of other reasons. I made a post about it a couple weeks ago. Me counting the times Freddy's hat causes me to miss. Listen, if it makes you miss 5 times, but it gets you a hit only it could once, doesn't that mean it's worth it? Doesn't that mean it's worth it? Also, I gotta change the YouTube banner. I've been meaning to do that. So, again, I've talked about this a few times. So the reason the podcasts are ending is, one, I want to carve out my own kind of content in the DBD scene and not have to rely on other people to do it. Not that I'm like shaming any of my guests or anything, but yeah, I don't want to rely on that because of the fact that it requires someone else. That means that like if something does happen with a guest, let's say I have a falling out with somebody, or something comes up, like some scandal happens with one of my guests in the past. Not saying it's going to, but if it does, then I kind of feel responsible. If I'm not vetting people correctly, like it doesn't end up being the best. Logistically speaking, it is so hard to plan things around other people's schedules on top of my weird ass one. And 2, I feel like I don't get to play the game enough on stream. So like I wanted to start making content that kind of required me to play the game more. All right, Timmy, have a good one. Always appreciate you stopping by. I hope the Squid Game puns weren't too much for you. What was your stupidest idea on what to use with menu, noob? What is it? Let me hear it. No, that's not a bad idea to run with it. Fastcoin would actually be pretty decent with it because you would have the undetectability for longer than your axe is out. If you use it right, you could virtually be a stealth killer the entire match. Combo with like monitor and abuse, so even if your terror radius does come back, it's super small. They're trying, but... You could also bring badge and just keep going in and out of doors, but whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Fucking bad ham. Honestly, though, I say this all the time, but I'm proud of where the podcast went, what it's ended up being. I'm gonna go to 4, not 2. What it ended up being, what it's caused. Like, there have been... I don't want to say a lot, but there's been, like, a lot of podcasts for Dead by Daylight springing up ever since I started doing mine. I'm not saying I'm the proprietor of it or anything, but it is something to note. Why would you go the way you did? What the fuck? Really? Probably should have just kept holding W there, my friends. Well, she hit stage 2. Wow, and I was worried I got bad ham. Always bad ham, never Gotham. Listen. Where's Mr. Mans? Is he doing the gen? Where is he? Oh, they're all on a hook. I didn't even realize. I'm dumb. Why is it not killing them? Didn't it, like, instantly kill them? Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Farah. That was weird. Sable had to head on. Jonah had to overcome. We probably stopped that, actually. What a weird match. I would love it if I got more Celebrate posters. Hooray! Well, no, you won't, noob, because I'm ending the stream, because I gotta be up early tomorrow. I'm taking my niece to Marshall's. I gotta see who's on first. Oh, Tat's on. We're gonna raid Tat. Alright, chat. Tat is a very, 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 very good Legion player. For those on the YouTube side of things, there's the link to Tat's stream if you would like to join. If not, completely understandable. But for the Twitch side of things, we're going to go ahead and raid Tat. I love you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, I got to do stuff in the morning. Yeah, I got to take my niece to Marshall's. I don't know what she's getting, but we'll figure it out when we get there. But I love y'all. See you when I see y'all. Have a good one. Bye.